Ashley from Sunny Maid, and today we are putting together block 3. All right, we're at the end of block 3, month 3. We're going to be putting together this beautiful block right here. Month 1, we went over how to make 4 at a time half square triangles. We put them into a pinwheel. Then we learned the Eleanor Burns method of flying geese. In week 2, we talked about ironing in week 3. And today we're going to put it all together and make this block. So this is what you should have. You should have your pinwheel that is 6.5 by 6.5 inches. You should have 4 flying geese that is 3.5 by 6.5 inches. And then for our corner of our quilt block, you need 4 3.5 inch square background fabric. So just like every other week, we're going to do it in rows. We're going to do corner, flying geese, corner. Next row is flying geese, pinwheel, flying geese. And then the third row is corner, flying geese, corner. So let's get started. All right, make sure you have your, Bryce. Make sure you have your pieces ready and have some pins because we're going to need to pin these pieces together. We're going to put the pinwheel in the middle. We're going to put flying geese around each edge. And we are going to put a background square in each of the corners. Next, we're just going to fold it over and start putting together each row. Now I've gone over this before with you, but I want to show you it one or a couple more times. That's probably good. Okay, we are going to put together this flying geese. What we want is the flying geese point to line up with the pinwheel. And I'm actually going to flip these over because I'll be able to see those better. What I want to do is about 1/4 inch from the edge, I'm going to put my pin in right at that seam. Let me get you a little closer. Okay, scoot it over. All right, there we go. We're going to put the pin right in that seam, about 1/4 inch from the edge. Pick up the edge of that fabric. Whoops. Pull it back. Our pin should then go right in the point of that flying geese. Okay. So now you have this seam and the point of the flying geese all line up. And of course it came apart. Let's try that again. And we're going to send it through and hold that all in place. We're going to sew 1/4 inch right along here. Make sure you get the pin out of the way just in time. 1/4 inch along here and 1/4 inch right along there. Okay, we have these pieces all sewn together. It's now time to iron them. I don't like to iron so that my fabric is going towards the flying geese. It creates, at the point of the flying geese, it creates a little bunch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pinwheel side up, set that seam, give it a finger press open, and iron that seam flat. Now because these are going this direction and I want my seams to nest, I'm going to iron these ones towards the corner squares. So set the seam. We're going to finger press them open. And then iron them nice and flat. So now we have this piece, and it's time to sew on our next 3 pieces. These ones, super easy. Once again, we're going to, flip that over again, line it up, grab me a pin, make sure it's hitting right at that point. Whoops, I am not good with these pins today, am I? Set that pin in there, and we'll do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. All right, we have these ones all sewn up. Once again, we're gonna start with the pinwheel on top, finger press it open, get that seam pointing towards the pinwheel. These ones I need to have pointing towards the corner fabric. All right, now let's get these rows put together. I'm just gonna go ahead and sew both of these rows on, walk you through putting one together, but just go ahead and use the same technique for both of them. So you're gonna fold it over. There's gonna be 3 points in where we want to line up. We want to line up the edges right here. We want to line up that middle seam with our point, and we want to line up this seam right here. So we're gonna fold it over. Then we are going to take our pin. My point of my flying geese is right here. Oops. We're gonna line it up with the seam. Set that first pin in. Then we're gonna nest these 2 edges. So the pinwheel is going towards the right, the corner is going towards the left. They're nesting right there, nice and pretty. Let's grab a pin. Now you don't have to pin right there. I can actually feel that those seams are nesting, but I do like to put a pin in just in case. I don't want it to move while I'm sewing. And also, just like that other edge, we're gonna just nest those and put it together. So go sew this one on, sew this other one on, and meet me back here. All right, we have this all sewn together. I'm going to start by giving it a quick iron right along those seams that we just did. And as I mentioned before, I don't want to be bending at my flying geese point. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over. And we are going to open it up this direction so that my seams are going towards the middle of the block. Let's make those nice and flat. Now, we do have a lot coming in at the corners, which may be a reason why you might want to fold it towards the flying geese, but you're still going to have a whole bunch of fabric in the flying geese corner. So I'm just going to keep it the way this is. I'm going to set that seam, fold it back, and iron it open. Okay, now this unfinished sized block should be 12.5 inches, just like our other ones. Preferably, it's a nice 12.5-inch square. I don't know, let's see. So this is 12.5 by 12.5, our unfinished size. What I'm gonna do is half of that is 6 1/4. So I'm gonna put that 6 1/4 dot there in the middle of my pinwheel. That should be the center of my block. Ideally, you should have this line up, the 6 1/4 line up right along those pinwheel edges. It should be 3 1/4 top to bottom. Looks pretty good here. 9 1/4 right along here. Again, 3 1/4 this way, 9 1/4 this way. As a whole, it looks pretty good. I do have a little bit of trimming I'm gonna do, which will actually help me get rid of all my extra edges, my string. So I'm just gonna run, whoops, my rotary cutter right along each side. I'm gonna turn it. It should now line up with my bottom edge here. And then I wanna also make sure that it's lined up in the center. Now you can see that diagonal. It's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Okay. Line up that center again. And then one last edge. It's important that you are lining up that center on each one. Okay. So, and there is our finished block. Oh, I've got to trim that off. All right, now you have a third block for that beginner skill builder quilt that we are making. Month 3 is done. On to a new month. We get to learn some new techniques next month. So I'm excited to get those started with you. If you have any questions up until this point, please leave a message down in the comment section. Anything about what we've gone over, any questions about supplies, any questions about today, just make sure you leave them in the comment section below. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you can get the next video in your inbox, and I will see you next month as we learn something new. Hope you have a great day.